kind of a review of my car, because I haven't had a chance to. Last time I had music playing, and fucking YouTube were assholes and said copyright infringement because of something that was playing on the radio that nobody could hear anyway. So anyway, this little bit, there we go. I loved my red car. I think I like the features of it more. As far as like the looks, there was some lights, there was the navigation, which navigation was useless. But then there was also the spoiler on the back and the fog lights in the front. And the fog lights I never really used anyway. They just looked good. But as far as this car is concerned, it's more fun to drive. It also doesn't have the lower profile tires. This car doesn't, and seems to handle just fine. Actually, the bumps are much better to take than the last one. The last one seemed like it kind of beat you up a little bit when you're driving it around. This one's not nearly as bad. The big difference actually that I like the most about this car is that it has a 6-speed manual transmission. And so the other one was an automatic, so it always seemed like, you know, a grandma car, I guess. Ooh, that guy's got to be cold. Anyway, this one here, it always feels like it's in sport mode because you're, you know, shifting all the time. But yeah, I'd like to get the rear spoiler for it. You know, aesthetically, looks wise. The other one had a backup camera. It was nice, but it really wasn't that great because the lines on it weren't that good, and it just didn't work out so well. But the other thing I noticed about this car is that, and I don't understand it, they're the same car, but this one's easier to see out of when you're, you know, looking on your right side and you're going to get into the right lane. It seems as though this just has better, I don't know, you can see better. I don't know what it is, because the other one I always had trouble seeing, and I even had to take the rests off, the headrests. And also the other thing is that it's like the window sits down a little further almost, because the other car, it always seemed like someone was tailgating you all the time. And this one, it doesn't feel that way. You know, you can tell that someone's not tailgating you. So, other than that, I mean, this car is not as noisy. I think it has a lot to do with the tires that are on it. But I threw a K&N filter in it, and I took off the inside tube, I guess it is, because it's a restriction. I can't really tell the power difference. I mean, there may be a little bit. This thing's it's pretty peppy anyway, at 179 horsepower with 170 torque or something like that. I got to read up on it, but it's got plenty of power to do whatever anybody needs it to do. Unfortunately, engine-wise, there's not a lot anybody can do with this particular engine, just because it just doesn't have a lot of options for it. So I guess what's nice is that if you get one of these used, even if it has a lot of miles, I don't know how beat up you can get it from a teenager owning it. I mean, the market Toyota was trying to get with this, it was the younger crowd. And then, you know, because basically that's what I was told, and that's what the sales pitch was. Not recently, but I mean, like with the advertising when these things were coming out, and through the early 2000s to, I believe this was the last year, 2016 or 2017 might have been, but 2017 I think it failed completely because there was no advertisement at all. I don't think anybody even knew this car was out. But the thing that I remember is they said it was one of those cars that was really customizable, and you could get, you know, all kinds of different things for it. And it just, I think it's kind of fallen short on that too. I mean, I wish they would have put a little bit more into this car, because it is affordable and it is fun, and there could have been a really good market for it. It does have Toyota quality for sure, you know, the parts on it and the performance, and nothing in here really feels like horrible plastic, you know. It doesn't feel cheaply made. You know, the steering wheel kind of has, it's almost like a leather, I guess you would call it. The 6-speed is nice and tight, and even the automatic, it shifted really nice. The stereo in it seems to be pretty nice too. Like I said, everything seems to work pretty good, but that's a little bit of my review with this thing. It's got great brakes on it. Like I said, it feels like a little miniature sports car, you know, and I kind of wasn't expecting that on my first one. And you know, my first one, I don't know, I liked the car. I got it because it got good gas mileage. You know, I wasn't really, I don't know, I just kind of figured, you know, Scion was Toyota, and that's why I wanted to buy it for that fact. But I didn't realize I was really going to fall in love with the car for sure. And I did not realize that the last car I had was it was not the base model. This one is the base model. So like I said, add-ons are more expensive, but it turned out that the insurance company, when it got totaled, valued it higher than what we actually paid for it, and we got money back on it. So the resale value was just something else. I was really shocked on the value going up on this car in general with the add-ons. So I may just start collecting the add-ons for this car. That way, you know, the value kind of goes up, even though it's still a base model. So I'm not real sure if the add-ons are going to do much for it, but it seemed to be for it. The other one had rubber floor mats. I really like those. These floor mats in here are just your carpet ones, which are totally sufficient. I don't remember having too many problems or the reasons why I would need really nice floor mats for whatever reason, but I don't know, time will tell. But yeah, I definitely love this car too. I think I almost like it better than the other one, just because of the few things that in the base model that seem more, I guess, more of an older folks thing than a young kids thing that attracts to it. So not too many cars with stick shift anymore either, so that's kind of fun. So anyway, that's my review of my 2016 Toyota Scion Tc base model. I'll probably put something up on to see how it turns out, you know, give more of a review later. But it's a cool little car. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying driving it. It's been a while since I've had a car that I really enjoy driving. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. It's nice and freezing ass cold here in Reno, and no rain in sight, which really sucks, but it is what it is. Maybe I'll do a review on how this thing does in the snow, because I noticed, you know, on some of the groups online, nobody mentions about how it actually does in the snow, although I've seen cars, you know, in snow areas with snow on them, but nobody says how the performance is. Oh yeah, to mention the traction control and the, I can't remember what else it is. It's that stabilization system they have on this, so if you take a corner too fast, it starts to brake for you. I actually did try to peel out in this thing, and it's hard to spin the tires on this thing, you know. It's got plenty of power to do so, but it is very difficult to do it. So the traction control works very well. The ride stability, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know what they call it, but it going around corners, it feels pretty tight, you know, so you don't ever feel like you're going to lose control of the vehicle at all. So anyway, that's my review. I'm on my way to work, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you for tuning in.